What is up, everybody? It's VCells0812 with Millie Chaser DFS, back with the Thursday night Showdown slate. And DraftKings has a great promo going on for the pick six for the Canelo fight. Canelo to get one strike against Crawford. I'm pretty sure he's going to land one strike. Take advantage of that. You can sign up using the link in the description. Sign up using my promo. Like the video. Share the video. All things are greatly appreciated. Let's get into it. Green Bay against Washington tonight. Green Bay's defense looked absolutely great. But when you get an explosive offense like Washington, I think Jaden Daniels is always in play. Probably the best captain option. Going to be the most popular captain option. Ways that you can get different on this slate, I think, is fading Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is going to be very owned, as he should be. But Green Bay was passing the ball pretty well. They didn't need to pass it a lot. Maybe if this game could become a shootout, you can get Terry McLaurin at much lower ownership, playing it that way. Deebo Samuel. I like Jordan Love, 15K. Let's go to flex prices so it's easier. Jaden Daniels, I'm not going to be fading at 11K on this slate at all. Whether it's in the captain or the flex, I don't think it's a way to get different, but I don't think it's a viable way. Of course, Green Bay's defense looked great, but with the rushing upside on Jaden Daniels, a 50-yard over-under prop for his rushing line, I think it's very hard to see how Jaden's not an optimal lineup. Josh Jacobs is a good play. More expensive than Jordan Love, though. Different way to play it would be Jordan Love with the pass catchers. Let's go over some of Jordan Love's pass catchers before we go over Daniels in the run game. We went over Josh Jacobs. Matthew Golden, 6,400. Didn't get a lot of routes last week, but like I said, they didn't really need it. It was a pure blowout against Detroit. I think Matthew Golden could be a bounce-back candidate here. Jaden Reed, 8,200. I mean, 8,200 for a guy with a broken foot who isn't on the field all the time. It's a very expensive play, but any given night he could be optimal. I like other pieces in Terry and Deebo more than Jaden. I like the tight ends for both teams here. I like Kraft and I like Ertz, 58 and 5,400. With both offenses, starting with Washington, it's going to be mainly Terry and Deebo, mixing in some Noah Brown and Lane. But Zach Ertz runs a lot of routes. It's the same as last year. Looked good last week. 5 targets last week. Caught a touchdown last week. I'm not saying you're going to catch a touchdown, but it's a safety blanket against a good pass rush in Green Bay. I think that's very viable. And Tucker Kraft, same thing. With Green Bay rotating the receivers all the time, Tucker Kraft's going to be on the field all the time. And we've seen kickers be very optimal on showdown slates, but with these pricings, I'm really not sure. 5K and 5K, but I'm sorry. 5K and 4,600 for Gay. But I'd just rather spend a little bit more for the tight ends. I think there's some good cheap options in Wicks. Like I said, Brown's going to be on the field. McNichols, I'm not really into. Musgrave, Lane. Rodriguez probably inactive. I didn't see anything on it yet. Christian Moore, if he's the wide receiver 5 and they're going to keep mixing in instead of Noah Brown and Lane, I think, dude, this offense, man. If Noah Brown's not going to be on the field all the time, I think $800, that could be a good unowned punt play. We didn't see a lot of McCaffrey, and Moore was the one running the routes. I think he ran 13 or 14 routes last game. Not getting anything cheaper. That would be his, and that's not something I'm going to be playing. But if you're multi-entering, I would have shares of him. Savion Williams got a rush attempt last week, I believe. They called it a pass, but it wasn't long. It was maybe a screen. I thought it was behind the line of scrimmage. I like Savion, but I'm not going that cheap. If I was to take a shot on anybody down here, it would be Chris Moore. Or Lane, of course, 1,600. But like I said, I like playing Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Dobbs, 4K. He's going to be the chalk of the slate. 4K for the outside receiver. In a run-heavy offense, he's going to be 60% owned in the flex. I think you can get away from it. He's a great play. He's going to project great. But just the way to get different is playing someone like Dontavian Wicks or one of the tight ends over him. And the tight ends will be owned, but I don't think they're as owned as they should be. Let's go over Washington. The running backs, JCM and Eckler, it depends how you want to play this. Now, you want to get ahead of things. So if JCM is going to be a bell cow running back, which I don't necessarily know if he is, we've seen some McNichols mixed in. Eckler's obviously going to get the passing down, and he got, how many rush attempts did he get? 6 attempts, so JCM did double him up. But 7K, it depends on if you think they're going to be on the field. If you think they're going to be playing from behind, I think Eckler's a good play. If you want to, I don't think JCM, 7K, if he's going to be the bell cow of the Redskins, is way too cheap. And if you want to try and get ahead of it, I don't blame you. I don't think it's something I'm going to be doing tonight. I think the way I like to play it is playing through Jordan Love instead of Jacobs, because it's going to be hard. You can fit all these three, but to get different, like I said, the tight ends, something like this. Let's go Jordan Love at captain. Jaden Daniels. Ertz. Kraft. 6,400 per. Then at this point, you could play something like Dontavian Wicks at 36. You have 9,200. Something like that I think is very viable. You could play it a different way. Jaden Daniels, a captain, just say the rushing upside is too big to get away from a captain. 8,700 left. I think this is going to be a pretty chalky lineup, but beautiful line. I think that's a way to get different, is fading Josh Jacobs instead. And instead of going all the way down to the punts, getting off Dobbs for Wicks, and then playing both tight ends, I think is different. It's a pretty tough showdown slate. There's two great offenses that rotate a lot of pieces, but it's going to be a fun one. There's a lot of ways to get different on the slate. Thank you to DraftKings. Take advantage of the promo. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. This is VCells 0812 with Millie Chaser DFS. I appreciate it. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll be back for UFC on Saturday and then Sunday's main slate. Thank you.